Welcome to the BDI Empowers podcast, where experts simplify disability benefits so you don't waste years figuring them out. Now, get empowered.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm your host, Anna Mackey. I'm so glad you're here today to talk about a really important topic, Medicaid waivers, and how to figure out which services are right for you or your loved one. You know how stressful it can be thinking about the future. We work hard to make sure we have income through Social Security, health insurance through Medicaid or Medicare, but services are key. That's what we're going to focus on today. I'm a proud mom of a 32-year-old with autism, and I learned a lot the hard way. I'm grateful to BDI for letting us share what we've learned to help you streamline these processes so you get all the services and supports you need without worrying you're missing something. Let's get started. So what exactly is a Medicaid waiver? Simply put, waivers provide home and community-based services instead of institutional care. Historically, people who needed substantial support might have had to live in a nursing facility or hospital. Waivers waive that requirement so services can be provided at home. Let's talk about how waivers often track the life cycle. You've got a few different programs depending on age and needs. For children, there's GAP, the Georgia Pediatric Program. Then for adults, there's the Elderly and Disabled Waiver, the Independent Care Waiver, and the Now Comp Waiver for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. To get any of these, you need the right documentation, which usually includes a psychological evaluation. For Now Comp specifically, you also need proof that the disability was established before age 22. Planning early is really important, not just to secure services, but to create a safety net in case of emergencies. Starting with GAP, it began in August 2002 as a Medicaid in-home nursing program for children under 21. More recently, they've added behavioral supports, similar to ABA, to better support kids' needs. The services under GAP include community living supports, which is basically help with everyday things like cooking, bathing, dressing, and light housework. Then there's behavioral supports to help with communication, social skills, and behavior interventions. Skilled nursing covers things like wound care, medication management, trach care, tube feeding, and sometimes physical or occupational therapy. To be eligible, the child needs Medicaid, and to be medically fragile, they no longer have to meet nursing home criteria. Next up, the Elderly and Disabled Waiver, formerly called CCSP. This one's for adults who want to receive care at home rather than in a facility. Services include personal care assistance, home-delivered meals, adult day programs, and respite care for family caregivers. To qualify, you need to be a Georgia resident with Medicaid, be either 65 or older, or meet specific disability criteria if younger, and choose to receive services at home or in the community rather than a nursing facility. Then there's the Independent Care Waiver. This serves adults ages 21 to 64 with severe physical disabilities or traumatic brain injuries. These individuals usually require care that would be provided in a nursing home, but with the right support, they can stay at home. Services cover personal care, home health, durable medical equipment, counseling, home modifications, and emergency response systems. To qualify, the person must be medically stable, able to manage their own services, and safely living in a home or community setting. Finally, the Now Comp Waiver, which is often the most sought after, is designed for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. This waiver provides a broad range of supports to help people live as independently as possible. Eligibility requires documentation of an intellectual or developmental disability, proof that the disability was established before age 22, and proper paperwork like psychological evaluations and adaptive function assessments. The services are individualized and flexible, so they can change over time based on what's needed. That includes community living supports at home, community access either in groups or one-on-one for recreation or appointments, pre-vocational supports to build work readiness, respite for caregiver relief, behavior supports for social skills and interventions, and supported employment for job maintenance after vocational rehab. Applying is pretty straightforward through the DBHDD online portal. You'll want to have all your documentation ready. This includes your psychological evaluation, IEP, birth certificate, Georgia ID, Social Security card, and guardianship papers if applicable. Before you submit your application, make sure you review the How to Apply for a Now Comp Waiver checklist we created. It's published on the Bobby Dodd website, www.bobbydodd.org. You can be placed on the planning list even if you don't yet have Medicaid, but you'll need Medicaid to actually receive services. Once you apply, a social worker will confirm eligibility, usually via Zoom. You'll get a letter stating you've been predetermined eligible and on the planning list. A planning list navigator will then assess your family annually to determine who is most in need. When it comes to getting on the top of the waiver list, there are a few things that really matter. The biggest factors are things like whether your loved one is at risk of harm to themselves or others, or if their caregiver is incapacitated or has passed away, whether all available resources are being used, and any ongoing behavior or medical crises. Advocacy is key in all of this. Keeping your documentation up to date is key, and you want to communicate any changes in your loved one's situation to your planning list navigator as soon as they happen. It also helps to show that you're making the most of the resources available, like family support services and vocational rehab, so the need for the waiver is clear. And if you're thinking about self-directing, remember that it gives you more choice over the services and staff, but it also comes with the responsibility of managing those staff and keeping everything on track. When you're awarded a waiver, the first thing that happens is a physician signs off to confirm the level of care your loved one needs. After that, you select a fiscal agent. This is someone who helps manage the funding and keeps everything organized on the financial side. Then you'll work with a support coordinator, who's like your go-to person, checking in every few months to make sure everything's running smoothly. Assessments help figure out exactly which services are needed, and if you choose to self-direct, that's when you're in the driver's seat, hiring staff, keeping track of changes, and making sure goals are being met. The great thing is you don't have to reapply every year. Instead, the Individual Support Plan, or ISP, is renewed annually and updated to match any changes in your loved one's needs. It's really about making sure the supports grow and shift as they do. Medicaid waivers are vital for supporting independence and quality of life for individuals with disabilities. Start planning early, maintain documentation, build relationships with your planning list navigator, and advocate for your loved one's needs. Thanks for joining today's episode of the BDI Empowers podcast. If you want more guidance or a free consultation, visit bobbydodd.org.
This was BDI Empowers, your guide to independent living. Join us again next month to learn more about simplifying disability benefits.